So yeah, the Sixers confuse the hell out of me right now with James Harden being the main reason. He's still doing a lot for them, but it's mainly through his passing as his shot attempts have been trending downward recently. And I feel like there are stretches where Harden just seems like he's not interested in shooting. I mean, this was an interesting play. It resulted in a three for Tobias Harris, but I mean, is it not a little weird to see Harden pass up this sort of a shot for one for Tobias? Of course, you love open looks for other guys, but what I'm more so trying to get at is this the best version of the Sixers? Where Harden is pass first. There's no other way to put it. He's been a pass first guy for him for quite a few games now. And as we get the Embiid Harden screen, Harden could have made a play at the rim here. Whether that's trying to finish through or over Siakam or trying to get something to Tobias underneath the rim, he elected pretty early to throw it to Danny Green in the corner. Sure, Maxey and Tobias can create some more stuff that Danny Green cannot off of these Harden passes, but I still want Harden shooting the ball, man. I've seen some speculation that he could be playing through something, possibly even that hamstring injury he had last playoffs. It actually would not surprise me, especially when looking at his inside finishing lately. In his last 10 games, he's shooting 48% at the rim. He could be a quarter of a step slower, the verticality at the rim might not be there as much. I don't know. It would make sense to be passing a few extra times a game if you were going through something. And again, he is still doing a lot for this offense, even if the shot making has been iffy, but it still has me a bit queasy. To be more optimistic about Harden's scoring, he is still pretty much getting to the line. So you got that going for you as a Sixers fan, but if it's basically get a bunch of free throws or bust, well, you don't love that. You could also bank on the step back becoming unstoppable again. It's also been a bit up and down. The other problem for them is the non-Joel minutes. In this Raptors game, neither Millsap or DeAndre Jordan played. Paul Reed acted as their backup five. Maybe that's an answer for the bench stuff, I don't know. The question is, can they survive when he sits at least like 6 minutes in a playoff game? Here's a random stat for you that may or may not matter. So Joel Embiid has played in 34 playoff games. He's only played 40 minutes at least 3 times. If they can't figure out the bench stuff, and it's a bit alarming because Harden and Embiid, they get staggered and they still have this problem, then I don't know, man. I don't know if they can survive Joel playing like 38 minutes a game in a playoff game against a good team. I'm also thinking about Matisse Thybulle a bit. Of course, he might not be able to play in Toronto if the Sixers get them in round one. I'm assuming Thybulle's going to play a good amount in the postseason, and we know what happens with guys who teams can leave open. I think he's one of the more drastic examples of players who have clear strengths and weaknesses, and teams are going to dare him to beat him from outside. If Thybulle is even respectable from outside in a playoff series, you throw a mini parade if you're Philly, but for his offense overall, it's transition stuff, cutting to the rim when guys are leaving him open, going for offensive rebounds. In theory, all that's nice, but what might actually happen is he's just a spacing black hole, so we're going to have to see, man. I would also like to talk about the team that beat the Sixers in this one, the Raptors, because there's actually a chance these teams could see each other in round one. Am I crazy for believing that Toronto could give the Sixers a really big headache in a round one series? I would pick Philly to win the thing, but with all the switchability their defense has, on top of whatever craziness Nick Nurse will think of defensively, I would like to see it. Can I take a look at this Scotty Barnes play for no other reason than I just thought it looked cool? Fake handoff into an actual screen with Gary Trent, roll to the rim, I love it. Loved this one as well. This double screen for Siakam eventually leads to a Gary Trent open three. Whoever gets the Raptors in round one, they're not going to be fun to face, man. Jokic is the first player in NBA history to achieve a whole bunch of numbers. This is a great tweet by the Nuggets Twitter guy. I don't know where it happened that people believed that the only case for Jokic was advanced stats. Like, just look at his box score, bro. Trust me, it's really good. The shot by Achua was actually the nuttiest thing of all time. Like 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, dude, and he just splashes it on a pull-up fast break. Are you kidding me? At what point during this did he decide that he was going to shoot this? Was it before or after he crossed half court? I don't know. Gobert votes Jokic for MVP. I don't know about y'all, but I think I would vote Malika Andrews as MVP.